6,
5,
4, 3,
2, 1.
Speaking up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Raising our voices alone or together. Not just breaking news, but breaking barriers. Fighting for victory on the battlefield and on the playing field. Seeing the world through new eyes and the earth from miles above. Redefining beauty, brains, and what it really means to be queen. Making ourselves heard on stage and on screen. Showing the way in Silicon Valley and showing up for others wherever help is needed most. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Welcome to the 2020 Women of Distinction event benefiting Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains. My name is Becky Burton, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Council. What a great crowd we have this evening for our first ever event at a drive-in theater. This is one of my favorite events of the year. Tonight, you will get to see and learn more about the programs Girl Scouts is leading in our community. At Girl Scouts, girls prepare for a lifetime of leadership, success, and adventure in a safe, no-limits environment designated just for girls. Not only is this event a way for each of us to help fulfill the mission, but we are also honoring and celebrating great leaders in our community who represent the Girl Scout mission. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever does. For more than 108 years, Girl Scouts has been the preeminent leadership organization for girls. The values of great leadership are embedded throughout the Girl Scout experience. Girls seek challenges and learn from setbacks. They develop a strong sense of self. They learn to identify problems and develop solutions. They build courage, confidence, and character. And they learn to take initiative when they see injustice, find someone in need, or have a world-changing idea. That's why Girl Scouts is no longer something we want our girls to do. It is something we need them to do. Join me this evening in making a meaningful gift to support our efforts to build girls of courage, confidence, and character. As many of you are aware, this is an important fundraiser for Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains. Now, we are so glad you're here. Enjoy your evening and enjoy the show.
Good evening. My name is Paulette Turner, and I am honored to be this year's Women of Distinction event chair. I would like to thank several people who made this event a success. First are the committee members who worked hard, figured out how to pivot during the pandemic, and with the help of the amazing staff of the Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains, turned the planned luncheon into a drive-in celebration. Thank you to committee members Susie Reyes, Angela Lamb, Laura Gininati, Mallory Unger, and Greer Christian. Also, our elected officials have been working overtime during the pandemic to ensure our safety, and some of them have taken time to be with us tonight. Thank you for listening to the needs of the community and responding. I'm especially grateful for our top sponsors, Frost Bank, BNSF Railway, Inalon, Integrated Leadership Concepts, Jane Rector, Ross and Ganaway, NBC5 News, and Fort Worth, Texas Magazine. We greatly appreciate your support during these challenging times. I extend a warm welcome and thank you to our program presenters, Powerful Women Who Mean Business, featuring Dr. Anderson, author and speaker, Diana Kapp, journalist and author, and Annette Soto Landeros, Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce President and CEO. Finally, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here to honor and celebrate great leaders in our community for their many contributions. And thank you for supporting the Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains. Women of Distinction is a fundraiser benefiting girls in our community. Join me today. Make a gift to support Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains.
Hi, my name is Laura Fulgham. I joined the Girl Scouts in the summer before I began the 4th grade. I was born 14 weeks early, weighing only 1 pound, 4 ounces. I had a tough time swallowing and needed lots of physical and occupational therapy. Eventually, I grew strong enough and was able to attend school and socialize with kids my own age. Little did I know that overcoming this first big challenge in life would lead me to the Girl Scouts. Throughout my years involved in the Girl Scouts, I've not only made valuable and long-lasting friendships, but I've been given leadership experiences and countless opportunities to learn what it means to be a friend, a responsible citizen, and a mentor to younger Scouts. Working on my Gold Award allows me to use these leadership skills to assist my community during these tough times. Girl Scouts has helped me grow as a person and to take ownership of my place in the world. I will continue to use these skills that I've learned during this amazing journey to keep paying it forward.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Deborah Ferguson. I am the morning anchor at NBC5 Today, and I am super excited to be your co-host for a fabulous, fabulous evening. Well, I have never emceed an event at a drive-in. Perhaps you've never been to one either at a drive-in, but I so love how the Girl Scouts of Texas, Oklahoma Plains had the courage and the confidence to think big and to bring us all together tonight at the Coyote Drive-In. We have a big mission tonight. Number 1 is, of course, have fun. Number 2, celebrate. But number 3, the big mission that we have is to raise $10,000 to help girls in the greater Fort Worth area access the opportunities they need to become leaders. Not only is this an event, a way for each of us to power the promise of Girl Scouts, but we are also gathered tonight to honor and celebrate some great leaders right here in our community who embody the Girl Scouts mission. And then to top it all off, we have 3 amazing leaders and role models who you will hear from tonight. We have author and motivational speaker, as well as dentist, Dr. Monica Anderson. We also have journalist and the author of Girls Who Run the World, Diana Kapp. She's with us tonight. And Annette Soto-Landeros, president and CEO of the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And let me tell you, we got a little gift for you. In your gift bag tonight, you will have a copy of Diana's book, Girls Who Run the World. It's inspiring, it's informational, you will love it. We will get to the feature attraction in just a little bit, but right now we want to feature and celebrate the incredible individuals in our community, incredible individuals who serve as role models for the next generation of female leaders. So when I say their names, if you're sitting next to them, pat them on the back, give them a hug, honk your horns as we honor tonight's awardees. Tonight's awardees include Discover Award honorees Kalisha Holland, Director Systems and Support, BNSF Railway. Dr. Elvia Espino, Public Affairs Manager, Atmos Energy, and Mom on a Mission. Our Connect Award honorees tonight are Dr. Faye Ballou, Senior Vice President, Community Investment, United Way of Tarrant County. Carol Ann Morris, Vice President, Pinnacle Bank. Our Take Action honoree tonight, Kathy Neese, Vice President of Development, James L. West Center for Dementia Care. Our Lifetime Achievement honoree is Jody Piper, founding member, Girl Scouts Texas, Oklahoma Plains Alum Association. And tonight we honor the man enough to be a Girl Scout, Jeff Salavaria, Senior Vice President, Frost Bank. A big congratulations to all of our honorees tonight. You make our community a better place. All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show.
Kalisha Holland has been employed at BNSF Railway for over 20 years, serving in finance, technology, marketing, and operations. Kalisha has a Bachelor of Political Science and History from Ottawa University an MBA from Washburn University, and a Master of Management Information Systems from Friends University. She is currently the Doctor of Demurrage, Systems and Support, and a proud parent of a son, along with her husband. Kalisha is a member of many organizations, including Equipment Assets Committee of the Association of American Railroads, the National Association of Railway Businesswomen, the National Black MBA Association, and the National Association of Black Accountants. She is a graduate of Leadership Fort Worth Class of 2020 and an alum of Leadership Greater Topeka. Kalisha is also a member of the Links Incorporated, a 75-year-old women's civic and service organization, and serves on the executive leadership team of the organization's Fort Worth chapter.
I'm extremely honored and grateful to be recognized by the Girl Scouts of Texas-Oklahoma Plains as a 2020 Discover Award recipient. This opportunity allows me to thank my parents and family for instilling the drive for excellence, as well as my husband and son for their continued love and support as I devote my time and talents to helping girls reach their full potential. I've been fortunate to work for BNSF Railway for over 20 years, and I'd be remiss in not acknowledging our commitment to giving back to the community and increasing exposure to STEAM-based curriculum as two initiatives that I'm extremely proud to be part of accomplishing. The Girl Scout mission of building girls' courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place is something I firmly believe in. Over the past several years, I've been intricately involved with developing and executing programming with the Fort Worth Links Incorporated that builds skills and abilities for girls to be prepared to enter into the workforce in the 21st century. Our STEAM-based programs focus on K-12 students who primarily in Southwest Fort Worth, where academic achievement and income disparity are more closely correlated than any of us should be willing to accept. Programs include our Nesby Junior chapter, where we serve elementary schools, our Links to Leadership program, where we serve middle school girls, and our Leadership and Beyond program, where we serve high-achieving high school girls from multiple schools, districts, including those in the Fort Worth ISD area. In addition to our very first cybersecurity seminar, held at Tarrant County College South Campus. These are all impactful programs that we hope to continue to grow in order to help girls become leaders in STEAM fields. I am extremely proud of the girls we serve and committed to seeing them succeed. This recognition brings visibility to these efforts, and I hope others understand the importance of this work. We must continue to support our girls. Thank you, Girl Scouts.
Dr. Elvia Espino is the Public Affairs Manager at Atmos Energy. Elvia's appetite for success came from being labeled at risk by her school system and growing up in a community that lacked access. Her determination is fueled with her desire to inspire others, especially children, to fulfill their ultimate potential and to never give up. She hopes that people can see a reflection of themselves in her and be empowered, exemplifying the phrase superwoman. Espino made history as the first Latina to run for mayor of Irving in 2017. She works tirelessly as an autism mom outside of Atmos to create a world of inclusion for special needs children and families. Dr. Espino earned her doctorate of education in organizational change and leadership from the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, and created global inclusion programs for major corporations in DFW and nationwide. Dr. Espino lives in Fort Worth with her husband of more than 30 years and her amazing son, Alex.
I'm very thankful to the Girl Scouts for this incredible honor. It's one I don't take for granted. I'm humbled for this award for so many reasons, but perhaps the biggest reason is because when you're mission focused, you do it for the cause and the love of the mission. And I love doing this. In other words, it's a thankless job. And if not me, then who? I'm proud to be part of a legacy of incredible everyday heroes doing their part to make our communities better and stronger. It's an immense responsibility to build girls of courage, confidence, and character, who all are working tirelessly to make the world a better place. I'm honored to play a small role in that. The truth is, young girls need to see people who look like them in order for them to believe it's possible. I'm proof that anything you work hard enough for is certainly possible. I'm humbled for the love and support of my husband, who gives me hope and the strength to fly. To my incredible son, Alex the Great, you are my number one reason. And God's grace is always more than I deserve. And lastly, to the young girls, don't forget to look back and lift others up along the way. The world is yours. Go get it. Thank you. Gracias.
Dr. Faye Ballou earned her bachelor's and master's degree from Mississippi University for women and her PhD from the University of Mississippi. Married to her husband, Walt, for 40 years, Ballou is the mother of 4, all alumni of Trinity High School and college graduates, and the grandmother of 4. Dr. Faye Ballou serves as the Senior VP of Community Investment for United Way of Tarrant County, where she does both fundraising and community planning. Ballou is the finance chair for the First United Methodist Church of Bedford, co-president of the American Association of University Women, Northeast Tarrant County branch, and remains on the board of the Northeast Leadership Forum after serving as president. She has served the Hearst Euless Bedford ISD as a trustee for the past 25 years, and has served as president of the board for 6. Ballou has received the Distinguished Leadership Award from the Northeast Leadership Forum and the Community Service and Clyde Mooney Awards for the Hearst Euless Bedford Chamber of Commerce. She serves on a variety of boards and committees across the county.
Good evening. It is such a joy to be here with you to accept the Girl Scouts Women of Distinction Connect Award. This is a very special award to me, as throughout my career, I've thought of myself as someone whose purpose is to help people connect the dots in the community. This has been true of my work as an elected school board member for 25 years with Hearst Euless Bedford ISD. And it's also been true for the 5 years as a volunteer and 17 years as professional staff with United Way of Tarrant County. The work with the ISD, it's meant connecting parents to the school district. It's meant connecting students to teachers and curriculum. And it's meant connecting the community to the campuses. With regard to United Way work, it's meant connecting donors and agencies providing programs to the people in the community who need the services. It might be a program at a community partner, like Girl Scouts. Or it might be a program that United Way hosts, such as one of the initiatives offered by the Area Agency on Aging, our Mission United work with veterans, or our volunteer income tax assistance services. Whatever in the community helps to connect people in need with people who have resources. Thank you, more than words can say, for this recognition and the affirmation that my years of service have made a difference. I'm grateful.
Caroline Morris moved from her hometown in Miami, Florida, to Texas at the age of 19. As a proud single mother of 2 adult kids, Samantha and Scotty, and grandmother to Jackson and Nicholas, she has been in the banking industry for over 30 years and is currently the vice president/lender at the Pinnacle Bank in downtown Fort Worth. Growing up with the Girl Scout troop leader as a mother, Carol Ann was a part of the Girl Scout community before she was old enough to be a brownie. She says her mom taught her how to be both strong, an independent woman and mother, and will be forever grateful for her mother's life lessons. During her time in Fort Worth, Carol Ann has served numerous organizations spanning from the National Kidney Foundation, which she is extremely passionate about as her son was a transplant recipient, to the Fort Worth Police Foundation, and has received multiple merits such as the 2019 Girls Incorporated Bold Woman Honoree between her career and serving her community. Carol Ann always finds time for important people in her life.
Hi, my name is Caroline Morris. I'm the Vice President Lender at Pinnacle Bank. I have been a banker since I was 18 years old. I was born and raised in South Florida, but I moved to Texas when I was 19. I'm the proud mother of 2 grown children, Samantha and Scotty, and grandmother of Jackson and Nicholas. While being a single mom, I managed to advance in my career over the years, but always made sure I was there and involved in my children's lives. I grew up in Girl Scouts. My mother was a Girl Scout troop leader, so I was a pixie before I was old enough to be a brownie, and then a Girl Scout. My mother was one of the strongest women I've known. She influenced me to be a strong and independent woman and mother. I lost my mother last year, but I will be forever grateful for the life lessons she's taught me. During my time in Fort Worth, I've become involved in numerous organizations. My first one was the National Kidney Foundation, which was very special to me because my son was fortunate enough to be a transplant recipient. I've also been involved with Children's Charities of Fort Worth. With the help of great friends, we realized there was so much more we could do to help these children in Fort Worth. With generous sponsors and the kids sharing their personal stories, we were able to give financial support to those charities and some of Tarrant County's underserved children. I'm involved with Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Fort Worth Police Foundation, Top Stars Give Back, Main Street Arts Festival, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. Through my career as a banker and serving our community, I've always managed to make time for my family. I've tried to live my life by following the Girl Scout mission based on 3 leadership attributes: discover, connect, and take action. Thank you so much for selecting me to be the 2020 Woman of Distinction Connect Award.
Kathy Anise Brown has been a professional fundraiser and community leader in the greater DFW Fort Worth Metroplex for more than 2 decades and includes service in arts, education, theological, and medical sectors. Her background includes more than 11 years of higher education fundraising, most recently serving as the Vice President for Advancement and Capital Campaign Director at Bright Divinity School, TCU. Kathy currently serves the James L. West Center for Dementia Care as Vice President of Development and Community Outreach. Kathy holds a BBA in marketing from the MJ Neely School of Business at TCU, as well as certificates in nonprofit leadership, nonprofit real estate, and outcomes-based programs evaluation from the Center of Nonprofit Management. Kathy's community and board service includes participation in the 2019 cohort of Leaderships from North Texas program and is a 2016 graduate of Leadership Texas. Kathy resides in Fort Worth with her husband Kevin and 2 children, Abigail and Brayden.
It is an honor to receive the 2020 Girl Scouts of the Texas-Oklahoma Plains Take Action Award. This award is especially meaningful as it recognizes a leader who serves our communities and advances the quality of life and opportunities so vital to the development of and support of female leadership. I've been truly fortunate to have been exposed to amazing role models and leaders who have helped shape my focus on creating opportunity not only for women, but for everyone in our community. I'm grounded in my work by my family and by my husband's steadfast support. I've been affectionately called one of our community's Sisters of Mercy, someone who sees and addresses need no matter how large, and understandably, somebody who cannot leave well enough alone. To enact change and to create action, we must begin with words. These translate into actions, which together translate into change and which create opportunity. Let's never forget the power of starting with conversation, as finding your voice in your true north is just the beginning. Thank you to Linda Garcia for this amazing nomination, and thank you to the Sisters of Mercy in our community who forge ahead bravely and with conviction that tomorrow is a new day with new opportunity and our ability to take action.
Jeff Salveria is a Senior Vice President for Frost Public Finance Division and serves as Relationship Manager for Fort Worth and surrounding communities. Jeff joined Frost in February 2007 as a Relationship Manager, bringing with him an impressive 20 years of financial service experience in managing and selling municipal trust products and services. That experience serves him well in the current responsibilities that include business development, underwriting, and portfolio management as he builds relationships for Frost with nonprofit and public sector clients in Fort Worth and surrounding communities. A graduate of the University of North Texas, Jeff holds a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in finance. A member of Leadership Fort Worth, he has been an active member of the community and professional organizations, currently serving on the board for the Planning and Zoning Committee in the town of Annetta South and delivers meals for Meals on Wheels of Tarrant County. He is an associate member of Association of Fundraising Professional and the Church Network.
I want to thank everyone that was part of this process and recognizing me for this extraordinary award. And how fun is this, to join other honorees on the big screen? As an Eagle Scout, our scouting programs hold a special place in my heart. I so appreciate the Girl Scouts' investment in the girls of our future. And anything I can do to raise awareness of this great organization and to encourage the success of young girls is worthwhile. Through my work, I've had the privilege of partnering with Becky and her team for the last 13 years, and I see how they lead by example, commitment, continuity, the importance of staying true to your core values, honoring the past, and also setting the course for the future. For the young girls that are currently in the program, I want to encourage you to continue to follow your dreams, making the world a better place as you go. Finish the race, strive for that gold award. And as you head out into the world for your first job interview, lead with that. Share your story of achieving that accomplishment, what it took to earn it, how you drove lasting changes in your community and beyond. By doing so, you're sharing the awesome story that is the Girl Scouts. Many of you will say our country is experiencing challenges never seen before, but Scripture tells me that there is nothing new under the sun. Every generation that has come before us and every generation that will come after us will experience challenging times. And every generation will need Girl Scouts who strive to serve God in their country, to help people at all times, holding true to the values of the Girl Scout law, working to make the world a better place. Again, thank you for this honor. And thank you for being here tonight to support this great organization.
Jody Piper grew up in the Hurst-Euless-Bedford area and was a part of the Circle T Council as a girl. She is the office manager at Lions Magnus in Arlington and an active member of Life Fellowship Church of God, and sells Avon in her spare time. Married to Howard Piper, she is the proud mother of 2 grown children, Matthew and Emily, and has 3 grandchildren, Braylon, Brenly, and Mason. Starting her 25th year as a Scout leader with Boy Scouts of America and Girl Scouts of the USA, Jody showcases her passion for Scouting by teaching the necessary values and morals to Scouts to learn and apply as leaders of tomorrow. Since 2007, Jody has been a part of the Executive Committee of Girl Scouts Fort Worth Chapter Alumni Association, and as an adult Scout, has acquired numerous roles within the Girl Scout community, such as Girl Scout Troop 1333 Leadership, Service Unit Product Chair, and has served as both a council and national delegate. She has also implemented the Troop to Troop program with the slogan, "If you can't eat 'em, treat 'em," where people can donate cookies to our military. This program has opened up opportunities for her and her troop to travel across the United States and abroad. Jody's lifetime of service has allowed her to instill the values of confidence, courage, and character to not only her troop members, but also to her daughter, Emily, who earned her Gold Award as a Scout.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here for such a momentous occasion. I want to thank everyone who nominated me for such an awesome award. Scouting has changed my life in so many ways and by so many people. I was not always a public speaker. Shocking, I know. But I was born with a cleft palate and I had a speech impediment. It was not until Girl Scouts and Judy Tracy that I blossomed into the woman I am now. Judy emboldened me to take facilitator training in areas that I love, like cookies, products, and recruitment. Without Judy, I would have never had the skills to show all my passion and my love to inspire every girl I've met. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. To Diane Kinselmeyer, you have rocked my world. You have been my ever-flowing source of encouragement. You have brought me out of my comfort zone. Without you telling me, "You go, girl, and you got this," I would never have been the president of the Girl Scouts Alumni Association. I became a better mentor and a better friend because of you. Diane, I appreciate your guidance and you have all my gratitude. To my alumni group, you have shown me what it means to be a lifelong Girl Scout. You are wonderful role models for how to be a woman dedicated to development of women leaders of all ages. I look to you for guidance when I feel confused or overwhelmed. I cherish your wisdom and examples. I value every moment we have together as I learn something about you and your experiences. I will carry your love of scouting with me and know the true meaning of bleeding Girl Scout green. Most of all, I want to thank my honey Howard. Without you, I wouldn't be standing here today. You're the rock I have built my life upon, and you support me in everything. You have been beside me every step of the way. When I was exhausted, you were there to keep me motivated. I love you with all of my heart. You are my soulmate and my best friend. Thank you for your dedication to me and sharing my passion. Emily, my mini-me, my sweet pea and darling daughter, the day you came home with that little pink note card about a Girl Scout recruitment, I knew we were going to have a lot of fun and the best time ever. And I remain so excited about going to Girl Scouts with you. Thank you for showing me so many new things, teaching me a lot of patience, and reminding me just to have fun. Getting to go to Adult Fun weekends with you and our European trip and our co-leading Girl Scout meetings together has been an absolute blessing. You make me a really proud mama. I love Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scout as a girl and I wanted my daughter to have a better experience. Little did she know, I'd already planned on getting her into Girl Scouts way before she ever brought home that recruitment flyer. From day one, I set out to be the best leader I could be. I never stopped. My girls have earned 13 bronze, 8 silver awards, and 2 gold awards. They earned so many patches, pins, journeys, awards, recognition, stars, leadership torches that they could probably fill a 5-gallon bucket. But that is not what Girl Scouts is about to me. It's about the growth of a little girl into an awesome young woman. Girl Scouts is about the courage to speak your mind, the confidence to take a stand, and the character to always do the right thing. Girl Scouts has always been about the girls and who they become. My first troop, they're all out in the world being the role models I always knew they could be, and I'm so proud. My daughter has graduated from college and has returned home to help me with my Daisy troop. Together we can mold and shape the next generation of leaders with all the courage, confidence, and character we can muster. I was the service unit cookie product chair for the last 14 years and still part of the council product task group. I've had the opportunity to mentor many girls because of Cookie University, where I'm known as the Queen Cookie Monster. I love to teach the girls goal setting and give techniques on how to be a diva. One event that stands out is when my troop signed me up for a yodeling contest in Switzerland. The girls still laugh about me winning because at the end I went, "Yeehaw!" I was rewarded a wooden carved cow and question what is a yeehaw. I have not always been the woman you see. I've not always been outgoing, talkative, or confident, but through Girl Scouts, the support of my friends, mentors, and family, I am confident, I'm outgoing, and I am very, very talkative. Girl Scouts has changed my life forever, and I cannot thank you enough for honoring me with this Lifetime Achievement Award. I will close with a line from my favorite song. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. A circle is round, it has no end. That's how long we will be friends.
A special thanks again to the 9th Annual Women of Distinction top sponsors, Frost Bank, Analon, Sudeth Relocation Systems of Texas, Integrated Leadership Concepts, Giddings Photography, Ross and Ganaway LLC, BNSFF Railway, Forward Texas Magazine, Clements Gear Management. Sponsors and underwriters like you help Girl Scouts learn to discover themselves, connect with others from a diverse background, and take action in their communities, all to make the world a better place. We are grateful for your continued support.
Hats off right now to Girl Scouts for making the best of the situation and bringing us all together. And it is time now for the big show of the night. Welcome to all of our panelists. We are so excited to have you here at this Girl Scouts event, the 9th Annual Women of Distinction event. And clearly, you all are women of distinction. You are trailblazers in your communities. And for a couple of you all, we're so honored and privileged that you are right here in Fort Worth, in the North Texas area. So definitely you are doing your part to make a better place. And we appreciate the California representation. And someday we'll get out there, yes, to see Diana. Thank you all for what you're doing in helping to make a difference in the lives of girls here in Texas and all across our country. So let's just get right to our discussion, okay? So as we all know, and I think you'll agree here, women are the backbone of our communities. Women wear many hats, from moms to doctors, to teachers, to authors, to journalists, and the list goes on. And there are lots of challenges at home and also in the workplace. So knowing that there are challenges out there and overcoming them is what each of you all have done and what we want to try to instill in these girls today. Dr. Anderson, let me start with you. You get the first question, Dr. Moe. I think that's appropriate. What advice have you received in your career and who provided it? And then considering that we are also talking to girls who want to grow up to be Dr. Moe someday, what advice would you give them in starting their own company? So we'll start first with the advice that you got.
The best advice that I got, and I know there are a lot of amazing young ladies out there who are going to become amazing, dynamic women like you, like the other panelists. And some of the best advice I got early in my career was that you don't have to do one thing. I am a dentist, I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, and there was a point in my life, and I'm very active in my community, but there was a point in my life where I thought I had to give those things up, particularly writing and speaking, which are my passion, in order to be a really good dentist. And one of my mentors, they call them coaches now, pulled me aside and said, you know what, I can see that that's making you unhappy. You need all of those things because of the way you're wired, the way your personality is. So if doing one thing all the time very well brings you joy, that's what you should do. But don't feel like you can't do multiple things with balance, but you can do more than one thing. And I would tell anyone looking to start your own company, and you do want to do your own thing at one point, I would say start that with working for someone else, learning with someone experienced and successful. And above all, don't let anyone pay you to be unhappy. Not a client, not a customer, not a company. Your soul, your spirit is not for sale. Don't compromise who you are for money.
Yeah, don't hesitate to fire a client who's making you miserable, sounds like. You know, Diana, your book, Girls Who Run the World, focuses on 31 CEOs. You've had these conversations with these women. Why is it, have you found, that there are so few women in that CEO position?
It's a complicated problem, not surprisingly. And I think that there's kind of external factors that are problematic, and those we need to work towards change, but there are also a lot of factors inside of women that I think are limiting them from aiming high and going after those jobs. And let me tell you a couple of them. So first of all, women universally underestimate their abilities. There's been studies that show, in 30 out of 30 countries, they ask women and men to estimate their IQ. And in 30 out of 30 instances, the women underestimate their IQ and the men overestimate their IQ. And that's just interesting to think about, because I think that goes to what kind of jobs and positions at companies that women choose to pursue. CEOs mostly come from bottom line responsibility jobs, so where you have control over the finances. And women tend to veer towards marketing jobs, PR jobs, human resources, and sales. And so that is not typically the path where you're going to end up in kind of a top management job. And I think that's some of, women viewing themselves as not capable to, be responsible for the money and the bottom line. And women have a kind of complicated relationship to money and feeling like it's something intimidating. And I think that's one area that girls, I would say to you, don't be afraid of money. Don't be afraid of math. Learn about it now. Those things are going to be super important for you in your career. There's, women are subject to bias. So one of the things in hiring that men tend to do is look for someone for a job that looks like who they've seen in that job before. And so, again, we need you girls to get into those top positions so that it can start to break down some of that bias, and we can normalize that is a job where I've seen a woman succeed in this in the past, and so it would make sense to hire you. So those are just a couple of the reasons. I guess the final one is, as far as entrepreneurs and women starting their own companies, it's exceedingly difficult right now for women to get funding from venture capitalists. So the data is crazy. For women, overall, we get about 2% of the funding in the whole pool of venture capital going towards startup businesses. And for Black women, we get 0.02%. So, those are things that we all need to think about and start to make change in.
Yeah, thank you. And Annette, you were nodding your head a lot as Diana was talking. You're the CEO in the group. So I'm curious, what has been the valuable leadership lesson for you? And when did you know your value? When did you see yourself as that CEO?
I will I was nodding my head because I couldn't agree more. And everything you just described was absolutely something that even myself, who often is very outspoken and a champion of women and breaking barriers, I recently became a mother. I'll be completely honest, under 6 months ago. And I took this job 1 year ago. So if you do the math, I was actually pregnant for the beginning portion of my first few months in this role. And I will tell you that even as a champion of women, and you all could probably relate to this, occasionally you have those thoughts that seep in that you don't know how they get in there, because you know better than to question yourself, right? You encourage others not to, but it's almost like it's ingrained, these doubts are ingrained in you of whether, you're able to handle it all, whether you should be ambitious, whether you should start a family and make that career change, or whether you're somehow reaching for too much. And I had a brief moment even in my own transition of questioning myself, and had to tell myself, like, you literally encourage women all the time to do exactly what you're doing, but you have to put those thoughts aside and be really, give yourself some grace and recognizing that some of these thoughts and some of these doubts are really ingrained. And so I would say that for everyone, the best thing you can do is just surround yourself with women that are going to be your champions in your corner, that you champion them, because every person has a moment where you need that reality of snap out of it, girlfriend, you got this. You know what I mean? And so if you surround yourself with that tribe, with that, you know, personal board of directors, some people call it, then you always have that person or somebody to rely on to be that sounding board that can tell you, no, 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 this is where you're meant to be. You were meant to do this. You've got this. You were made for it. Go and get it. And really that encouragement is the difference maker a lot of times, and women being able to really step out and say confidently, absolutely, I'm going to start a family. I'm going to change careers. I'm going to be a CEO, and I'm going to do it all well. You know what I mean? And so I encourage all women, all young ladies to take inventory of the individuals you have around you and make sure that they are champions in your corner. And if they are not, then consider getting new folks to surround yourself with. Absolutely.
Right. While you were talking, Annette, I was mindful of that saying, you know, show me who you run with and I'll tell you who you are. And so right now, let me tell you, I am a CEO because I am running with some awesome women right now. So Diane, I want to bring you back in. You may have heard of the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. He has a lot of books that people are reading. And in this particular one, he talks about success being a product of hard work and luck. So do you find that equation works for women? My guess is no. My guess is you're going to think it adds up differently when it comes to women.
Yeah, I mean, I laugh when I hear that, because what I think about these women CEOs that I interviewed for my book is that they're not lucky. They make their luck. And let me tell you a story that describes that exactly. So when Jen Hyman founded a company called Rent the Runway with her partner Jenny Fleiss, they decided that they wanted to talk to Diane von Furstenberg, who's a really famous dress designer. She invented the wrap dress. And they had no contact with her, no way to get in touch with her, no one who knew her. So the first thing that these gals did is they just guessed her email. They tried 30 different emails that were like dvf@dianevf.com, org, until they, got one that didn't bounce. She wrote them right back. She said, I will give you a half an hour of my time if you'll get to Manhattan on Friday. So they rent a car, they went out and they bought themselves some DVF dresses. They named the company on the way. They are 15 minutes outside of Manhattan. They're going through the tunnel, they're entering the city when Jenny's phone rings. And it's the assistant of Diane von Furstenberg. And she says, I am so sorry, you two. Something has come up and Diane is not going to be able to make the meeting today. And what Jen Hyman did at that moment is she holds the cell phone out there and she says, what? I don't hear you. My cell phone is cutting out. I'm 2 minutes from your office and I'll be right there. These girls showed up. They said to themselves, what do we have to lose? We could be made a fool of, we could get laughed at, we could be really embarrassed, we could get, escorted out by the guard, but they just decided, go for it. So, that's just a perfect example. I heard stories like that over and over again. The founder of Spanx, Sarah Blakely, when she went in and saw her hosiery in Neiman Marcus for the first time, it was in the hinterlands collecting dust in the back corner. So she went out to Target, bought her own rack, carried it inside in her coat, and set the whole thing up right at the register. She didn't ask permission. She didn't wait for anyone to tell her she could or couldn't do it. So again, I think the hard work part is definite. It takes so much hard work to start your company. But I think success comes from having a positive attitude and putting yourself out there and taking risk. And that is make your own luck.
That is fantastic. And I am so glad that she did that, because I feel great when I put on my pair of Spanx in the morning. And I got to tell you, I feel great when I take them off at the end of the day. But hey, we have to have them. You know, and one of the things, as you were talking here, Diana, there's a phrase that I tell myself, and it kind of, I was hearing it as you were talking, and that is, be brave, not perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes women, we try to, with the perfect, we were raised to be perfect. Don't run too fast, you might fall. But really, it's in the bravery that we have that really can accomplish goals, like what you just pointed out.
Yeah, Sarah Blakely tells this great story that her dad, at every dinner, instead of asking her, what went great today, he always said, what was your biggest failure of the day? And then whatever she said, he would high five her. And so he kind of made failure into something that happens to all of us, which of course it does. And
don't be afraid.
Something she was comfortable with.
Good. And then I'm going to bring you in now. I'm curious. You work with a lot of young women. You work with a lot of women, business women in Fort Worth, who are trying to grow, trying to become that next CEO. In talking to them, what do you think is the biggest challenge for the next generation of Hispanic female leaders?
I think that we've definitely broken some barriers, but there are still barriers to be broken. And I think that often folks are shy away, as Diane mentioned, as things that might seem not in our wheelhouse or not our expertise. And so really, what I encourage everyone is, you don't have to know everything, but the more people you know, you will find the answers there. And so that's really where, working at a Chamber of Commerce, where we're able to assist. You have a great idea. You may not be perfect at finances, but we can hook you up with people that know about financials, right? So really just being able to be honest about what your strengths are, and be honest about what you may not be your strengths, and outsource it all. You know what I mean? Someone told me even, when I got married, they said, get a maid, save the marriage. You know what I mean? Like if you guys are stretched for time, like whatever it is, get somebody to help. You don't have to do it all if you all are stretched for time. Just make sure that you're honest with yourself and getting the resources that you need. And that's something that we really try to stress to everyone. Is it marketing you need assistance with? Is it, financials? Is it getting things registered? Let us know. We'll go find it. And really just look for those resources where you can ask for help and find folks that can lend a hand or jump in and assist.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Mo, I would have you jump in right now. I want to have a little conversation with you. And, we are at a point, I think, in our society and country where we are really looking at people and women of color differently. We are seeing them for the value that they bring to society. I know in our newscast, our stories look a little differently, and it's exciting. It's exciting to recognize that people of color aspire and reach high levels and goals and all the things that you talk about that you have done. So, and we have girls with us tonight. What would you say to them to inspire them to continue to dream big and believe that they can bring about change and that they can see the kind of success for themselves that they want?
That's a great question. And I am happy to see that change in the nature of the stories on the news, because I grew up seeing different pictures on the news, and I had parents to balance it out, or it might have impacted me in a different way. I love Girl Scouts as an organization. I know the young women in there are great and confident and have strength of mind, and that they're learning to make and achieve goals. And when you talk about changing the world, I often remind young people that it takes 100 million pennies to make $1 million. 100 million pennies to make $1 million, because we all want $1 million. But we forget what it takes to make it, the small things. And in our lives, we might want 1 million likes, 1 million shares, sell 1 million books, 1 million employees, but that doesn't just happen. We have to do the work. And no, there's not a lot of luck involved. We have to make it happen and be determined, and remember that in order to get to that great big goal, which you should make. And you may see other people doing it. And you're thinking, how did they do that? Or you're on your way to your great big goal and there are all these detours and roadblocks. But just remember, it's one small change, one small choice at a time. 100 million small choices every day, starting right now, from education to listening to your parents, to exercise, to putting in the time for rehearsal. And 100 million small choices will begin to accumulate into something big, and you'll impact people. Because my thing is that you try to make a difference, not a dollar, and success is a side effect of that. And when you impact enough people in a positive way, they change their lives, your life changes, and ultimately you change the world together. And that can be done by any young lady, anywhere.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. Small changes do make a big difference. And we're coming down to the last few minutes of our conversation. So since you've got the floor, so to speak, Dr. Mo, I'm going to start with you. And this is a question for all of you all. And the question is, pick one woman who has inspired your journey and tell us why. Dr. Mo?
I'll be quick. I normally say my mother, but I've said that so many times. I'm going to talk about another mother today, who is Mother Mary Teresa Boyajou, better known as Sister Teresa or Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She is an amazing woman, Roman Catholic nun. She's deceased now, missionary, Nobel Prize winner, known all over the world by everyone for her work serving the poor and the sick in India. But what a lot of people forget is that she gave up a life of comfort. We always talk about the rags to riches story. For India, she went from riches to rags to make that sacrifice and follow her calling, her faith. So doing a great big thing, making an amazing change, making a difference may not be a person, place, or thing. And that's what I learned from her. And that's what I want these young ladies to remember, is that you follow your passion, follow your heart, and try to make a difference in people's lives. And that's what she did for me. That's a great lesson I learned from Mother Teresa.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Mo. Annette, same question for you. One woman who inspired you and why?
I think, there's a lot of women that have always inspired me, but right now, I think where I am in my life, my grandmother has been somebody that I think of often now that I'm, 6 months into motherhood. She had 7. She had 7 children as an immigrant to the United States, and also at one point became a single mother when my grandfather passed away. So 7 children and putting food on the table, and still, really the resilience that takes at that time period, you know what I mean? And so I just really, more than ever, I believe women can do it all. We can do everything. We find a way. The gumption is there. The resilience is there. Women from all walks of life are champions, are survivors, especially right now. My heart goes out to all women who have, working from home, who are taking care of children, who are shushing children in the background while they're trying to be on their work Zoom meetings. So I say, women around the world, high five for doing everything it is that you do, and really balancing and juggling all the hats that everyone does.
Yeah, thank you, Annette. And Diana, you've talked to women who run the world, so I'm sure you've had lots of inspiration, but who is your one woman and why?
The woman I have in mind today is someone named Dr. Sarah Fain. And she is someone who, in my journalism career, I had the lucky opportunity to travel to Afghanistan. She's a British physician. And she first visited Afghanistan when she was a medical student, and she worked on the border in refugee camps. And she was trying to think about how she could help this country that is so much in trouble. And what she decided is education is the #1 thing that could really, really move society forward, and particularly education for girls. And her story actually reminds me a lot of what you were just saying, Dr. Mo, because what she did was she has built 50 schools in Afghanistan, but it started with just building 1 school. And then after one, then she built a second one and a third one, and all the way until an entire region in the north of Afghanistan. Now every girl is going to school. And I'm just so struck by her because she didn't have any special powers or any special connections to do this. She just put her mind to it, and she started really small. And she just said, I'm going to figure out how to raise the money to build one school. And then she, worked from there and moved forward with making connections with the Afghan government and getting them to take over the schools after she had built them. And anyway, just this whole concept that don't think that problems are so big that you can't attack them. The way to start is just to start. And you build one and you learn from that. And then the next thing you know, every girl in a region is going to be, and in those classrooms, when I was visiting with her, she would ask the girls, how many of your mothers have a high school education or any education? And not a single hand would go up. And so this is generational change. And I think we don't think enough in the United States about how lucky we are to be able to get an education. And so anyway, this woman really inspired me. And I even got to take my mother along with me on this trip to Afghanistan. And that was really, really special. And Sarah is an amazing hero to me. And her organization is called Afghan Connection.
Yeah, that is fantastic, Diane. And I think at a point too, when kids are learning at home, don't squander that education. Do the work even though you're at home. And I think too that, we all have a superpower, and it's here. It's our mental power, and it's what's in our heart. And that's what girls and women bring every single time all around this country. And you all have done it today, brought your heart and your mind power, and we do appreciate it, ladies. Thank you so much to you, Diana, to you, Annette, and to Monica. You've inspired us. We're going to go forth and conquer. We're going to leave this drive-in and go change the world. And, and I think as you pointed out too, we might have a long way to go when it comes to an equitable society. But Michelle Obama has said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. And with your help, we accomplished something great tonight. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks all of you.
Love that. Honk your horns if you loved it. Honk, honk.
A Gold Award Girl Scout commits to a cause beyond herself, leading the charge to tackle significant issues in her community. Along the way, she becomes a proven leader who is primed to contribute to her campus community, take action to address key issues, and step up as an excellent team player. As one of a Gold Award's final projects, they must complete a project to combat one of these issues in their community. This project identifies an issue, what causes it, and then considers the steps on how to resolve it, locally to possibly even globally. Girl Scouts do want to make the world a better place after all. Through earning the Gold Award, girls develop essential leadership and life skills which will contribute to their success in college, career, and life. Girls who earn the Gold Award stand out in college admissions, gain valuable life skills, and drive positive change in the world. Alyssa Harris is a local Amarillo Girl Scout who earned her Gold Award this year. Let's hear now about her journey.
I'm an ambassador Girl Scout, and I've been in Girl Scouts for about 13 years now. Since the beginning, it's always been quite the roller coaster. It's been a great ride. My entire time that I've been here, my reasons to stay have continually changed as I've grown, as the program and what it's meant to me has as well. In the beginning, it was my mom who signed me up. I came home from kindergarten and she was like, hey, you're going to Girl Scouts. And so that was the start. And, I've stayed in it since then. At the beginning, when I was a kid, it was the cookies. I wanted all those prizes. I wanted to win the top prize and to get everything, and I've done it before. And then after I got older, it was the sense of, serving my community, being able to get those higher badges and to prove to myself that I could put in that work and do it. And then, after a while when I got older, it wasn't necessarily about going to Camp Kiwanis anymore, Girl Scout camp. It wasn't really about the cookies, it was more so spending time with my troop and, using that time that I have with them. And so we would save cookie money and we would go on our own trips, and that would be another experience that I would get from this organization. We stayed in castles, we've spent the night at NASA. It's been a fun ride and it's been a fun trip. And all of it has led to this final award that I've gotten today. From the beginning when I was just worried about selling cookies, from there I've learned, how to talk to people, how to make my own goals and set and go for them, how to really strive and, not hold back. And I was able to use that on one of my final projects that I'm doing with Girl Scouts, my Gold Award.
Hi, my name is Melinda Mitchell-Jones, and I'm a Girl Scout. I come to you this evening as chairwoman of the board of directors for our council, Girl Scouts Texas Oklahoma Plains, and I join you in a movement that seeks to nurture and promote girls as future leaders. I'd like to say congratulations to the honorees that we celebrated tonight. The women of distinction recipients have made significant contributions to our community and serve as inspiration and role models to not only ourselves, but also to our girls. At Girl Scouts, girls prepare for a lifetime of adventure, leadership, and success. Every girl chooses her own path from carefully crafted programs. In Girl Scouts, girls can gain important knowledge and skills in STEM, outdoors, life skills, and entrepreneurship, which forms the foundation for the Girl Scout leadership experience. They can work on their own or they can team up with others in an all-girl environment, of course, practicing safe distances. Or they can learn virtually with a troop leader and other girls online. In addition to celebrating the contributions of amazing community leaders tonight, this event is an important fundraiser for our council as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our goal is to raise $10,000 for girls. Now you might be asking, why should I donate? Well, your financial support is needed to support programming for girls who will become the future leaders in our community. A friend of mine recently observed that women during times of national challenges, such as this pandemic, have played important roles in addressing the needs of our cities and towns. The majority of healthcare workers are women. The majority of educators are women. It is clear, ladies and gentlemen, that investing in girls is an investment in the strength of our communities. So I ask that tonight, please make your contribution to Girl Scouts Texas Oklahoma Plains. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight, and honorees, thank you for your service. I hope you enjoy the celebration of your accomplishments. Good evening.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight on this mission. In the greater Fort Worth area, Girl Scouts serves more than 11,000 girls each year. And it takes all of us to build girls of courage, of confidence, and character who make the world a better place. So we want you to know that your gift tonight will make a lasting impact on our girls, helping them become tomorrow's leaders. We're asking you tonight to help us fund this next generation of leaders in our community by investing $10,000 in Tarrant County girls today. We know you can do it. You've come through time and time again, and we know that we can count on you, and we so appreciate this. We hope that you leave here tonight inspired. We've honored 7 incredible individuals right here in our backyard. We've heard 3 inspiring female panelists. And tonight you can say that you invested in tomorrow's female leaders through supporting Girl Scouts of Texas Oklahoma Plains. Your support acts as a force for change in our community. And now more than ever, we know every little act can make a huge difference. And I want you to remember these words from Mahatma Gandhi when he said, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." You can do that tonight, and we thank you. Remember, a free movie will start showing in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you are not staying to watch the movie, please do your best to head out before the show begins. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight, and drive safely.